book friends, this is Kat. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, it is time for my TBR game for November. We're also in a new location. This is my bookcase and I have rearranged the living room yet again. That's like my hobby now, but this is kind of like a little bit of the bookcase and some of the books that I have here. So this is gonna be my red bookcase shelf, and I tried to do a rainbow order so you can see all of that, and some of my bookmarks that I got for my birthday are right there. And then the bookcase over here is my unread / DVD movie display case. So my unread is on the very top here. You can see that. And then these are my husband's right here, his unread. And so, yeah. Anyway, I am here because, well, I'm just going to try this setup. And you will see later on in the video why I am sitting in front of my bookshelf. So, before we jump into this month, let's go ahead and talk about how my last month went. So last month I had 6 books that I needed to read, and for my first prompt I was supposed to read Counted with the Stars by Connellan Cassette, and I did complete this book. All of these books will be talked about in my wrap-up. After this video I will do my wrap-up video. This one was for the prompt TBR jar, and so that's what came out of the jar. This next prompt was to read a book with the letters F-A-L-L in the title for fall, and for that I picked Flirtation Walk by Siri Mitchell, and I did complete that. The next prompt was to read my lowest star rated book on Goodreads, and for that I was supposed to read The Zookeeper's Wife by Diane Eckerman, and I did not start this book. So already that was a fail. The next prompt I had was a random genre, and I picked out mystery / thriller, and so for that book I read Stranded by Danny Petrie, and I actually completed this book. So that one was a win. The next prompt was a family pick, and I had my sister pick a book, and she picked A Light on the Hill by Connellan Cassette, and as you can see, my cute little bookmark is still in it, but that is where I'm at on chapter 6, and so that's about 56 pages in. So again, that would have been a fail, but I've already got one that's a fail, so we already know we failed my TBR. But I do anticipate to finish that book before November comes around. The next prompt was to read my longest book on Goodreads that had the largest number of pages. For that, I was supposed to read My Dear Hamilton by Stephanie Dray and Laura Kamoe, and I actually read this book. All 612 pages of it, and I really do believe this is the one that slowed me down to get to my other books. Probably one of the longest books I've read. Maybe. We'll have to see one day. I did read a Tolstoy book, Anna Karenina. I don't know how long that page count was, but that was a pretty long book. So, all right. So as you can see, like I said already so many times in this video, I have failed to reach my TBR goal, and that means that I have to take a punishment for the game that we're playing. So the punishment is I have to pull a genre with each prompt. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with roll number 1. Okay, everybody, hopefully this is straight. I did my best, but I'm trying not to stand over it. I have Violet. She is ready to go. This is who I'm playing with. Got my dice, and I'm going to do 4 rolls and let's just get going. So roll number 1 and a double. Okay, so 5 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is scavenger hunt. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my genres here. I have to do this prompt with, in the genre, a mystery or a thriller. All right, so roll number 1 is exciting because we landed on scavenger hunt. And scavenger hunt is basically this video I saw on YouTube a while back, and it was one of the booktubers. I'll link her down below, but it's Books and Lala, and I think she got it from someone else, but I saw this on her video, and this was for her to pick her next read, and I thought that was a fun thing to do, and so I just kind of kept that in the back of my mind, wanting to do that too. So I made it a prompt. And so for this, I just looked at her description box, and she had all the prompts listed there. And so I wrote them down, and so we're going to pick right now my read. Now, the only caveat to this is that my final book has to be in the mystery/thriller genre. So we'll see how this works out. So, all right. So in here, I wrote down the prompts. So let's start with the first one. Hopefully this turns out good. Okay, so the first one says, grab your favorite book. Go to the acknowledgements, and the first name you see, find a book by an author with the same name. Okay, so my favorite book, I don't know if I want to do my favorite book all time or my favorite book from last month, but let's go ahead and let me think. This one I've talked about many times, so I'm just going to go with this one. And this one is Land of Silence by Tessa F. Shar. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to the acknowledgements, and the first name I see is the name I'm going to use. So where's the acknowledgements? Okay, acknowledgements. Let's see the first name that I see. Okay, first name that I saw, Kathy Olson. Okay, Kathy Olson, right there is the acknowledgements. Okay, so that's where I put my finger on first. So Kathy Olson, and it says, find a book by an author with the same name. So I'm gonna take that as like an author whose name is Kathy, didn't say spell the same. Let me see what I can find on my Goodreads, because I know I don't have any on my unread shelf. Oh, wait, I do. On my unread shelf, I actually have someone. So far, I don't see anything on my read shelf, but this one, Kathy is with a K on this one. So I'm gonna count it, but this is digging for diamonds. So, all right, let's see what the next prompt is. Sorry if that's cheating a little bit, but she didn't say it had to be spelled the same way. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I feel like, you know, Kathy has different ways of spelling the name. All right, the next prompt says, pick something on that cover and find another book with the thing in the title. Okay, well, first off, I see diamonds, and I mean, that's like the only thing I see on it. So we're gonna have to go with diamonds, and I need to find something with diamonds in the title. Okay, let me see what I can find. Okay, so I don't have any books that have like diamonds on the cover, but diamonds are jewels. But I'm gonna tweak it a little again because I don't have like specifically diamonds, but it is a jewel. So I'm gonna go with jewels. And so right here, I have Jewel of the Nile by Tessa F. Shar. So I'm gonna use that. So Jewel of the Nile is my book, and this one says, go go to page 50, line 5. Pick a word from that line and find a title with that word. Okay, let's see, page 50, line 5. Okay, so it's the start of chapter 4, so line 5. We have night, we have grandfather, we have lying, and then we have a lot of verbs. You know, I feel like night could be an easy word to find, but do I have? Okay, I cannot find a book with night in the title. So let's see. I have I don't even have grandfather, lying, or liar. So we're gonna have to use one of these verbs, and I feel like an easy verb to use is the. So I'm gonna pick a book with the in the title. There. I'll just grab this one. So this one is The Hidden Print by Tessa F. Sharp. So, all right, let's see what the next prompt says. The next prompt says, find a 5-star read with the same colors on the cover. That should be easy. It's a Tessa F. Sharp book, and all my blues are down here. So that one more similar, although I could see her face a little more in this one. And they're both wearing blue scarves. But then I have this one. This one's more like rose gold, and this one's not. So maybe not. And this one's more of her face. This is a side profile, and this is a side profile. But I guess I'm going to go a little bit with this one because this one has blue and gold, and this one's kind of got that blue and gold. She's wearing a scarf. She's wearing a scarf. Granted, hers is lighter. And then you have the sky. And I feel like they're basically almost the same, wearing the same thing. More so than this one, because this one's got red, and there's no red on this one. And this has also got like that foil. So I'm not going to go with this one. So, okay. We are going to do Thief of Corinth. I'm pretty sure this one is a 5-star read. Let me double check though. So this is definitely a 5-star read. So next prompt. If you hear some banging, my husband just got home, so we're right next to the garage, so he's unloading stuff. Okay, so this one is find a book you would recommend that is similar. Okay. Okay, so this book is about a girl, and I can't pronounce her name, but her name, I'm going to try my best, is Arianes, and she lives with her oppressive grandfather and mother, and basically she escapes and she goes and she wants to live with her dad. So she finds that her dad is a thief, a world famous thief, and so she wants to apprentice with him, whatever the case is. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of the book, and she does meet Paul in this book. So I don't know if I have anything exactly along the lines of like having someone as a thief, but we'll see what I do have. I think I'm gonna go with like anything dealing with a girl apprenticing with her father in a job and then coming to know Christ. And that's where I'm going to go with in this one. I'm going to pick another Tessa F. Sharp book. I'm going to try to go away from these, but this one is along similar vibes. This is Bread of Angels, and it follows Lydia, who helps in her father's business in making dye for clothing and stuff. And this one also has Lydia meeting Paul. So I'm going to count that for this. Okay, hopefully we'll get a book that's not a historical fiction and Tessa F. Sharp, but I mean, she writes really great books. Okay, so this one is take the most common letter seen in the title and find an author whose name starts with that letter. Hopefully it's not an E, because that one, I don't know, I just feel like that could be hard. So there's a tie between E and A. I don't know what to do with the tie. I feel like I could go either or with that. I think I'm going to do that, but Yeah, either an E or an A. Let's try that. This one is You're Not Enough and That's Okay, Escaping the Toxic Culture of Self-Love by Allie Beth Stuckey. And so hopefully this book is a nonfiction. And I really like the hot pink cover. I don't see many books that are in this hot pink cover. So we'll see what the prompt is for this one. Okay, so this one is find a book with the same number of pages. Okay, so this is a short book. So it ends at 191. I feel really bad. I didn't show you it, but okay, so as you can see, this book ends 91 right here. You can see it. So I'm gonna look at Goodreads. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Goodreads says Mere Christianity is at 191. So let me go ahead and see if that is correct on my shelves. I feel like should be. Here it is. Mere Christianity. Another very bright color. I really like the color. Okay, it's 227. I won't count it. After much perusing, I finally found one that was very close, and so I'm going to count it, and that is The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis, and this actually caps off at 192. So I'm counting it as that. So that took a while. This video is really long, guys. I'm going to try to speed it up. So this one says, okay, so same number of pages. So flip open to any page. The first name you see, find a book by an author with that name. Well, who shares that name? Okay, great. I don't think he'll have a lot of names in here. Okay, let's, we're at this page. So I'm just gonna do it again. Okay, random here. And we'll try again. Okay, this is the introduction page, and I see McDonald. Okay, I don't see a McDonald right now, so I'm try it again for sake of time. Okay, let's see. Dennis? Dennis. We're doing Dennis. Oh, keep forgetting to show you. Okay, so Dennis is... Where are you, Dennis? Dennis is right here, so we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Dennis, and Dennis or McDonald. Let's do that. Okay, so I'll do McDonald first to double check if I have anyone with that name. Guys, I could not find a Dennis or McDonald, so I'm gonna go again. I don't have anyone named Plato. Browning, Kingsley, and Pat Moore. Kingsley. I don't know, a Kingsbury. Here we go. St. John. I found St. John right here. John is a name. I know exactly the book I'm going to pick for this one. John Eldridge, Wild at Heart. So I found a book with an author that shares that name. So find another title with the same number of letters. Okay, so this one's Wild at Heart, Discovering the Secret of a Man's Soul. I'm just gonna do Wild at Heart, and yeah, sorry, that's just gonna be easier for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 words. Okay, so let me see. Little Women is exactly 11 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. All right, next one says, find a book with a similar cover. So this has foiling and words, and it's green flower. So this one's got flowers. It's not green, but it's got foil. So I'm gonna go with this one because it doesn't say colors. It's similar cover. Okay, flip to a random page, point at a word, and find that word in a book title. Okay, so this one's the last one. So any page, point to a random word. This is a bind up of all of Jane Austen's works. So I'm gonna point at this word. Thomas. Thomas. don't think I have a book with Thomas that's a mystery or thriller. So, okay, you know what I'm gonna do is, I don't think I do, so I'm just gonna pick another word. That way, if I can't find it, then I can do another word. So I'm just gonna like close it up again. Let's go more towards the back and we'll just do this one. And this one says, that one's easy, it's the. So, I put my finger off of it, and I'm sorry I didn't show you the other one, but I'm gonna look for Thomas first, and if not, then the, and it has to be mystery or thriller. So this is gonna go, I'm gonna go to my story graph and I'll tell you what the book is. None of them, there's no Thomas, but the, I have options. So I think out of all of these books that I'm semi-interested in, I am going to go with The Christmas Train by David Baldacci. I don't really know how to say his name, but I'm going to try to read this Christmassy book towards the end of November. And yeah, this one says it's a mystery. It's mystery romance, but it's classified as mystery on my story graph. So I'm just gonna go for it. And this one is talking about a journalist named Tom who is going to from Washington, D.C. to L.A. on this Christmas train, and basically his journey there. Sorry for the beeping, but basically it's his trip across America, and there's this mystery surrounding this trip. Anyway, this is a read that I'm choosing for this prompt number 1. Okay, I am going to kind of take a break for a little bit and then I'll film part 2, but you're just going to see it as one continual video. But that took, I kid you not, about an hour to find all the books and whatnot. Plus, I think I'm going to fix this. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. Shelves are all done. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on with this TBR game. So let's go to roll number 2. Roll number 2. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plants on cover / title. So any type of fall foliage, and in the genre, this one, okay, historical fiction. Oops, there you go, historical fiction. So roll number 2, I landed on plants on cover. The book that I did end up choosing had to be a historical fiction, and so for that I chose Appalachian Song, and this is by Michelle Shockley. And basically what I know about this is, okay, clearly I did not have the correct synopsis for this, but essentially we are following a midwife, and she has a young teenager who shows up on her doorstep who is expecting, and so she nurtures this woman until the woman makes a heartbreaking decision that will tear the family apart. And then you follow 30 years later. There's this guy who realizes he's adopted as an infant, and so he's trying to figure out where he comes from. So that's what I know about this story. So I'm gonna get this on audio at my library. Okay, roll number 3. Roll number 3. Snake eyes. Okay. 2. 1, 2. And this one is Fall Colors. So a beautiful cover. In the genre, let's do this one. Christian fiction. So any modern retelling or Christian fiction. Roll number 3, I landed on Fall Colors, and I had to pick Christian fiction. So again, I didn't specify if it was supposed to be like a fall scene or anything, so I just kind of went with like some colors that you would see around the fall time. And so the book that I did pick, A Home for Her Baby by Gabriel Meyer, and this one has that mustardy color that the woman's wearing, and she's wearing a long sleeve. So to me, it felt like, okay, it could be set around the fall, and mustard's usually a color you would see in the fall time. And this is about a woman who is a widow, but she is pregnant, and she is working at her family's, I think bakery, I'm not sure, but a business. And I think it's going under, and this guy is going to take over the business, but she wants to still work there and basically provide for her child. So there might be a romance in there. She might be falling for the guy who took over the family business. That's my guess. But I saw the name Gabriel Meyer, and I am really enjoying her historical fiction, so I'm going to try some of her contemporary Christian fiction. So that is my pick for this roll. Okay, roll number 4. Okay, roll number 4. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, a 20 in 2024 book. Ooh, I don't know if this is gonna work, but we'll try this. Hopefully it works. Okay, historical fiction. That actually works. So, okay. Roll number 4. I got 20 in 2024, and I did pick the historical fiction yet again genre. So this one's easy because I only had one historical fiction left in my 20 in 24 list, and that is No Ocean Too Wide by Carrie Ternaski. And I really have been trying to get to this book. I've gotten so many good reports about this book every time I mention it on my channel, so I'm finally putting it on this TBR. And this is again about a woman who is searching for her 2 younger siblings who are mistaken as orphans and shipped across from England to Canada. And so she is trying to find them. It's actual true history of like England shipping children off to Canada to have them be adopted, and a lot of them are orphans. I think they're all orphans, but I really want to get to this book, and I'm glad it finally is on the TBR. So as you saw in some of the rolls, I did roll doubles, and so we're going to go into my bonus rolls with roll number 5. Roll number 5. 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, another family pick. Okay, so they're gonna have to pick from this genre. Let's do this one. Another historical fiction. Wow, okay. What are the odds? Okay, so roll number 5. I again landed on family pick. I have landed on this square so many times. Actually, in all 3 of these fall TBR videos, that space has been picked or has been landed on multiple times. So I ended up sending a message to my siblings chat, and I had to send them 2 historical fiction books. One of them is Shadow of the Storm by Connellan Cassette. This is the second book in that Out of Egypt series, and you're following Shira. And I think this is the one where they talk about the golden calf. It's going to mention that in there, and you follow again Shira and her story, and I think the story has something to do with even her doing midwife training and all of that. But I want to get along in this series, And the second book that I did put on there is Across the Ages by Gabriel Meyer. I technically don't have this in my possession yet. It is coming out November 4th or 5th, I can't remember. But hopefully I'll get it soon, and if this one wins, I'll be able to read it before, November ends. But this book is about a time crosser who is in the time of where there's pirates, and her other timeline is in the 20s. And yeah, anyway, I will let you know here on the screen which gets selected. So we'll see. Okay, 6th roll. Okay, hopefully final roll 6. And it is, and it's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, O is odd number of pages. Makes this real good. In a different genre, hopefully. And this is, okay, children, middle grade, or YA, odd number of pages. All right, as you see, that was my final roll. So roll number 6, I landed on odd number of pages, and I have to find either a children, middle grade, or YA book. And this one is The Town of No Mirrors. This one was part of my Antober TBR, and yeah, spoiler alert, I did not get to it. I know I still have like 5 more days of October, but I'm not even going to attempt it because I want to finish some other books. So I'm just going to roll this one over, and this one is basically a middle grade, and it's a town with no mirrors, and people just walk around not really knowing what they look like, and I think it's dystopian too, so that's going to have to count. And if I find out later that it wasn't an odd number of pages, oh well. But I'm going to get this through my library, and just going to go with that. Those were all my rolls, and I'm sorry if this video is a little chaotic, but editing should be fun with this. Anyway, my Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. Let's talk about that. Okay, so for my Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge book that I was supposed to read this month is She Walked Before Us by Jill Eileen Smith. As you can see, I did start maybe a couple of pages. Okay, no, I did not. This is the introduction page. So I have my bookmark in here. So I haven't started this yet, but I'm hoping to start this either tonight or tomorrow. And that's going to be like my nonfiction with my fiction read. I usually like to have one nonfiction I'm reading with my fiction reads. So anyway, I don't anticipate this taking super long, but the next prompt for the Montgomery Path is, let's see, what's it say? It is Jane of Lantern Hill, to read a second chance book. I'm not excited about that one. Oh well. But let me see what I have. I wonder if she also will count second chance authors. So let me go and see real quick with my laptop her YouTube announcement video and see if that's what she meant. So she said I could do an author that I may not have had the best luck with. So that one, I do have an author in mind, and I've been meaning to try out another one of her works, but I want to give this author another chance because I know that Katie at Paperbacks and Ponytails really loves this author, and I've only read one book, and it was audio, and it was just not the best audio recording, but I'm going to give this author another go because I know that she writes biblical fiction. And so this one is the author Misu Andrews, and I'm going to pick up Isaiah's Daughter. And this is the first book in a series, but it says that It's about a young woman who is taken into the prophet Isaiah's household and rises to capture the heart of the future king. So Isaiah adopts Ishma, giving her a new name, Ziba, delight of the Lord, thereby ensuring her royal pedigree. Ishma came to the prophet's home devastated after watching her family destroyed and living as a captive. But as the years pass, Ziba's lively spirit wins Prince Hezekiah's favor, a boy determined to rebuild the kingdom his father has nearly destroyed. But loving this man will awake in all her fears and pain of her past, and she must turn to the only one who can give life, calm her fears, and deliver a nation. So I will give this a go. I don't really know much about Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. That's the part of the Bible where it's just kind of hard to go through. So, yeah, let's try it. Hopefully I like it. And I do want to give this author a go. So those are all the books on my TBR. And there are some readathons that are still kind of coming out for November. I know that there is a C.S. Lewis readathon that Morgan at Morgan's Endless Library is doing. And I think there's like other readathons going on. I usually do like Historathon or Nonfiction November, but I might just do a separate video just because I don't know how long this video is going to be. So stay tuned for that. Before I go, let's talk about my husband's roles. So last month, my husband did land on the prompts music and arts, and that was to read a book that dealing with the music or the arts. And so for that one, he picked Finding Home, My Funny Journey into Faith by Rod Butler, and he did complete this book. And then the second one, he landed on a challenge prompt, and so he battled the villain. I forgot who the villain was. I think it was Hans, but he had to read a book for the challenge, and he picked Dune by Frank Herbert, and he actually DNF'd this book. He just realizes that this is just not going to be a book for him because of, I think, the content in it. He did give it a try. So he did complete his TBR, and so he does not get a punishment, and he does get a reward. So let's go ahead and see his rolls. All right, now we're getting ready for my husband's rolls. We're going to start with roll number 1. 5. Okay, so that is a 20 in 2024, or his pick. Roll number 2. 5, again. Okay, this one says library, so a library pick. Okay, so just to recap, he had gotten 20 in 2024. So for this one, it's just a book that he's been meaning to get to. And the second one is to pick a library book. So he does have to read 2 separate books, and I will let you know in the wrap up what he decided to read for these prompts. Okay, that is my video, and thank you for sticking with me. I am curious about what readathons you guys are participating in. Maybe there's one that I could consider doing, but I am happy with the books that I have, and that scavenger hunt was pretty fun. Stay tuned for my wrap up to see what I thought about some of these books. And yeah, thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I hope to see you in another video. Bye, guys.